so I'm 35 years old, right? People say, don't you want kids? Don't you wish you had kids? Like, need to have you some kids. Look, it's like this. I want kids, but I want them with the right person. You feel me? Gotta be with the right person. First off, let me start by saying, if I have kids, I want to have a house, um, preferably on like the outskirts of a town somewhere. So the town is in, you know, I say maybe it's like, I was gonna say 10-minute drive, but it could be a 5-minute drive. It don't matter as long as it's on the outskirts of town, right? Nice little bit of land, you know, enough for me to be able to have a nice little farmhouse, barn house, whatever. Have some cattle, some horses and chickens and stuff, goats, you know. Uh, Build my own garden. I want to have woods around me. Um, Place for me to be able to hunt, even if it's small game. You know, rabbits and stuff. Hopefully, deer are plentiful in these woods as well. And it would also be nice to have some sort of stream or river or pond nearby. Some little body of water. All right. I also would like to build my own water reservoirs. You feel me? Have solar panels. Be have a self-sustainable homestead. You see what I'm saying? Um, that's what I would want. And I would want to have a wife who's on the same page as me. Um, and to be honest with you, I would want her to be smarter than me because I know what I know, but I don't always have the best ability to teach it or regurgitate what I know. You know what I mean? But if I had a woman who was on the same page and thought like I did, and she also was able to teach my same ideology or our same ideology, that would be fantastic because then we could both teach our children. You know what I mean? Even go so far as the homeschool. Now we still do things like go to the park, maybe even have them in some extracurricular activities. But we definitely would explain as to why we prefer to homeschool as opposed to public schools. Now that's the setup, something nice and simple. Like I said, I want to be able to be self-sustainable. If shit hit the fan, I want to be able to have our own water, our own electricity. You know what I mean? Our own vegetables, fruits and stuff. Um, our own chickens and maybe one of those little, I think it's called an aquifer. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. But it's like this little um, ecosystem of vegetation and fish. And the fish feed the vegetation, and the vegetation filters the fish water, or however it goes. I don't know what it's called, but have one of those. Like I said, be close to a little stream where I can fish, hunt small game, so we can eat. You know what I mean? That's what I would want. That's what I would want to bring my children into. But this chaotic world that we live in, this nasty, poisonous food, like, okay, we know that. We know that. And I'm whispering because there's somebody else in the house, and I don't want to talk too loud. But we know that the clothes and stuff that you wear are full of poisons as well. So if we are on our own homestead, we really don't have to go to town because we we're living off our land. You know what I mean? We're eating our own fruits and vegetables and herbs and stuff. Even if you do are connected to the power grid and the water system, you can pay that remotely. You know what I mean? But then you have the burden of a job. But I would definitely like to work towards getting out of working a regular job, because I mean, who wants to do that? What kind of life is that? I'd rather work for my damn self. Money doesn't do anything but buy you stuff that you want, right? So if you can make money working off your own land, then that would be great. But from what I understand, that can be kind of hard too, based off of what some of the farmers go through. And I don't think you'll be able to make enough money to, I don't know, especially if you got like a small homestead. I don't want anything too large or whatever, but anyway, man, it's just, at least have that. Have a paid off house with all the fixings, you know what I'm saying? Water reservoir, solar energy, cattle, body of water nearby, etc., etc. And bring your children up into that. Then you wearing clothes made of cotton, 100% cotton, or hemp. I don't know if they can still do that, but you brushing your teeth with the right materials, the right kind of brushes, the right kind of paste. You are moisturizing your skin with the right stuff. I mean, that's how you stay healthy and vibrant. You know what I mean? At least try to fight the machine in that way. A little bit. Okay, so that's first off. But second, I want to say that there's a lot of men out here with children that don't have children. And by that, what I mean is, there's a lot of guys out here who can't touch their children, who can't see their children, who can't kiss them, who can't hug them, who can't love on them. All they can do is send in a check every month. You know what I mean? They got these bitter, angry baby mothers that make the child make the child think of the father or as a deadbeat. And even if she doesn't, it's like, hey, you're silent speaking volumes. Even if you don't want to bring him up or mention him or talk about him, the fact that this is the man that you laid down with to have me shows how much you care. You see what I'm saying? Now there are certain circumstances where it just didn't work out, and maybe the guy changed or whatever. But most cases, these women know exactly who they dealing with, and vice versa. The men do too. So they're part of the blame as well. But I will say this: there's a lot of cases where women will flip. As soon as they get that baby, I've seen it. As soon as they get pregnant, they start giving me ultimatums and stuff. Oh, you need to stop doing this, or you can't be doing it. It's like, wait a minute. Now all of a sudden you having a baby, you trying to change me, you trying to hold it over my head. What kind of demonic activity is that? It's cold blooded. You knew who I was and what I was before we did this, and all of a sudden you want to make changes. And if I don't do it, then what? Oh, you don't want me in your life now? What kind of mother is you? You think you can do it on your own? You can't. If you can do it on your own, don't ask me for no help. Don't ask me for no child support. See what I'm saying? But it's crazy that the court systems will just automatically. Man, look, it seems like they'll give a baby back to a crackhead mother with a jacked up living situation faster than they'll try to help a father get his baby custody of his child if he's the better parent. Right? So it's like, if me and her, if you married to somebody and y'all break up and then he got to pay alimony and child support and all this and give you half of his stuff and all the woo-doo-doo, it's like, wait a minute. If you feel like I'm financially capable and stable enough to do all of this, then why not give me the child? What sense does that make? If you think I'm more financially stable, why would you give the child to the less financially stable parent? That shows that you don't give a shit, right? So anyway, that's another thing. Like I said, there's a lot of men out here that's fathers that ain't fathers. They can't be because of the baby moms. And then you got a lot of fathers out here who ain't fathers because they raising somebody else's child, whether knowingly or unknowingly. You see what I'm saying? 12, 13, 14, 15, 18 years, you find out baby ain't yours. Remember recently, and I know it's so many more cases than this one, but remember that older white guy, I think he was a judge, he came on and said he had two children, and they was grown, 40 something years old, I think 30, late 30s, early 40s, and both of them was deadbeats, and he found out that neither one of them was his. Crazy. And think of how many more men out there is going through that same thing. At least if you biologically tied to them, it's like, well, I brought them into this world, they mine, they might be deadbeats, but you know, and even if y'all become estranged, the fact that y'all hold that bond of biology, is it biology? Yeah, I guess y'all yeah, y'all hold that bond, then uh they may come back in your life in a very, you know, trying time of need, like say a deathbed or something. But or not even a deathbed, you get sick or something. But say you become estranged from some children that you find out wasn't yours in the first place. They might not come to your rescue. Like, I'm tell you over here, man. So it's just one of them things, I have people tell me that all the time. Don't you want children, or you should get children? Don't you want children, or you should get children, you should have children, whatever the case is. It's like, no, not right now. And it got to be by the right woman. So many people that I'm surrounded by see them with their kids, and it's just like, that ain't it, Chief. I don't want to be. I don't want to be in the position that you in. Not even a little bit. So man, I just kind of, at the moment, live life. Uh, if it's one thing that I try to do is love. Try to love, man. I try to help out where I can. You know what I mean? I ask God to be put in a position to be able to do so, and you know, my take on religion is different than most. You know what I mean? But like I said, I believe in love, and I believe in doing the right thing, and I believe in just living your life um to the best of your ability. And here in America, you have the opportunity to make you a little money. And if you do so, man, if you make you a little money and you live within your means, right? You live within your means and you don't get nothing. You don't make bills and stuff like that you can't afford to make. And that means children, because children are a big financial burden. You know what I mean? And that's just is what it is. You can say that it's not, but it is. Children are a big financial burden. Some people may say it's not a burden, but just think of how much you know. So, or responsibility, if you want to put it that way. So you pick responsibility or burden, but either way, it's something that you have to endure. So, me for instance, I don't have no vices. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I'll have a drink occasionally. I'll maybe smoke a black and mild or something, a piece of a cigarette every once in every once in 12 blue moons. Like, basically, I don't do it, okay? I don't do drugs. I don't online shop. I don't shop in stores. I don't have any vices. Not really. So, mainly, I just pay my bills, um, eat out every now and then, try to make sure my vehicles are up to date on tags and information and stuff, and get parts for them when they need it, and take care of them, um, and save the little money that I do make, do get. So that way, if somebody say, hey, you want to go off to such and such, we're like, yeah, man, no problem, let's go. So yeah, don't live beyond your means. If you living on a $5,000 car budget, don't go get a $20,000 car. You see what I'm saying? That's stupid. It's dumb. Now you stretched thin. Well, you can go get you a nice car for $5,000, $10,000, make you some payments on it if you need to, and get you some insurance and work with that, and until you can do better. But at least by the time you can do better, you've been paid this car off. So now you got this vehicle as a backup vehicle. So right now I have three vehicles, but all of them are paid off. I have a 2010 Lincoln Town car, I have a 2003 Chevy S10, and I have a 2005 Honda Reflex, which is a scooter, motorcycle. I like to call it a motorcycle. But yeah, they all paid for it. They all got insurance. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I pay my bills and I save the little money that I make, and I'm on disability, so I don't make that much money. But I can really say financially, I'm doing a lot better than a lot of people around me, and that's just simply because of how I move and operate. You know what I mean? And I don't have no, large financial responsibilities outside of my normal household bills and toiletries and stuff like that. So yeah, man. I just said all that to say this: kids are wonderful. They're great. I got nieces and nephews, and I play with them, and hug on them, and kiss on them, and babysit them from time to time. And even in the future, you might say, "Oh, I wish I would have had children," but like I said, there's a lot of people who have children that wish they didn't, and there's a lot of people that have children that don't have their children. You see what I'm saying? So I don't want to be in neither one of those positions. I want to be have a great, better half or other half to be right there with me along that journey, because it's definitely a journey. Once you make that ultimate sacrifice to bring another life into this world, now that's your responsibility. You see what I'm saying? For a very long time, for the better part of your life. You know what I mean? So you want to make sure that it's done right. It's like getting into a. Would you go buy a vehicle and get into a 4-year contract, 3-year contract, whatever, 6-year contract of having to pay X amount of dollars, and you got a limit? You got to keep buying parts for this car. Now you got this $50,000 vehicle, and you making payments on it every month, and they telling you it's gonna take six. I don't know how long. Six. Let's just say it's gonna take 6 years to pay this car off, but it's a limit. You buying tires for it. You having to buy parts for it. It done broke down on you for 2 months. You see what I'm saying? Would you do that? But that's like having a child with somebody that you can't build with. So now you dumping money into this child where, okay, I don't know, it's just not right, man. Either you're a single mother, I'm gonna wrap this up. Either you're a single mother footing 100% of the bill, or you're a mother on child support, getting child support, and the father is getting a big chunk of his money taken out of his check every month. So now he's trying to support this household plus his household. You feel me? And it's just bad for business. And I hate when mothers be like, gave me, I only got $300 a month. I only got $250 funky dollars a month from him. First of all, he ain't making that much. Let's just say he only making $1,000 a month. Well, yeah. Let's just say he only making, let's say, $1,200 a month, and you taking $1,250 of that. I mean, you taking $250 of that, or you taking $300 of that. That's only leaving him with $900 to pay to pay bills and buy toiletries and groceries and all that stuff. So it's just bad for business. You see what I'm saying? To have a child with somebody that, but like I said, I hate when women be like, oh, that ain't enough money. You ain't spending $250 on this child a month. Stop it. Stop. Girl, just stop. Maybe on certain occasions, Christmas, birthdays, back to school, stuff like that. But in those cases, hopefully, like I said, you got a child's father that's helping it. If not, then again, that's partially your fault because you laid down with this bomb. Or you kicked him, you pushed him out of the picture for whatever selfish reason you had. Or he left, but again, if he left, it's partially your fault because you chose that bomb. But anyway, I'm saying this. In most cases, you ain't spending no $250 on this child a month. Because, and if you is, this is what I'm saying. If you didn't have that child, you'll still be paying rent. You'll still be paying lights. You'll still be paying water. You'll still be buying groceries. You'll still be buying toiletries. You'll still be paying a car note. You'll still be paying car insurance and paying for whatever else you're paying for. You still be, you know what I'm saying? You still will have those basic bills. So you can't just sit here if all your bills come to, because of all your bills, I had a child in my life for 2 years, and I wasn't spending no $250 on her, no, every month. Now she got car seats, she got strollers, she got toys, she got teddy bears, she got princess houses, she got diapers, she got pull-ups, she got wipes. Now she was a baby, but still, I wasn't spending no $250 on her a month. And then the older they get, again, how are you spending $250 a month? Unless you just got them, that's to the point where you got them in extracurricular activities, and again, special occasions. That's when you have to spend money. Oh, you got to buy football pads and stuff, or you got to buy gymnastic gear or cheerleader stuff, and that's maybe once a year. But for the most part, you ain't spending no $250 a month. But you complaining because you getting only $250 from him, $300 from him, whatever. So anyway, man, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, this was basically just to chime in on that whole children thing, man. Just be careful out there who you have children with. That way you can have a better lifestyle for yourself. But it's your boy Mr. I Does It All, and I'm out.